Welcome to Happily Ever After, the podcast which seems to talk about all sorts of different things, but one listener described it as the place where we talk about what everyone else is thinking, but maybe not saying out loud. I am your host, Hannah Harvey. I'm a writer and a parenting blogger at mumsdays.com. That's mumsdays.com. If you wouldn't mind subscribing and leaving a review, that would be amazing because it basically means more people can find the podcast. And I also would really love to hear from you. So please could you contact me through Instagram at mumsdays. You can message me anything really, but you know, your stories of life and heartbreak, or any thoughts you might have on the episode, or any questions you want answering. And as always, you can find the details from this episode in the show notes. Hello and welcome to Happily Ever After with me, Hannah. And this week I'm joined by a very old blogging friend, Katy, from the blog What Katy Said. Hi, Katy.
Hi, Hannah.
Hello. Long time no speak.
Long time. We can't even remember how long it's been. It's been that long.
I remember when I had Nancy, I was like, I think I'd given up blogging for a couple of years because we've always kept in touch on Instagram.
Yeah.
When I'm on it.
Or Facebook.
Or Facebook. Yeah. But I remember calling you when I had Nancy. I don't know if you remember this, and being like, how do I get back into blogging? We had like an hour conversation about it, but I feel like, you know, she's 4 now. I feel like everything's changed again since we had that conversation. So I'm really looking forward to exploring some of that kind of stuff with you, because obviously I stopped, but you carried on and went from strength to strength.
Yeah, you say that, but it's not. I don't think so. I don't feel like I have. I feel like I've stayed the same and not grown at all. But
I think when I stopped, we were at a similar level, and then you definitely took off.
See, you say that again, but I always viewed you at the point before you stopped. I always thought you were like eons ahead of me.
No.
Winning awards, and your Facebook page was just, you know, amazing. I was like, oh, how can I be as awesome as Hannah? And then you stopped. But I don't feel, certainly with blogging, I don't feel like that ever grew. Facebook, just no. Instagram, yes. And that is how, when you stopped, everything changed around that time, and suddenly Instagram was the thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But again, it's changed again.
Since then.
I'd miss the old days, I'm not gonna lie. I miss the old days when it was just blogging, share it to Facebook, share it on Twitter. Twitter wasn't such an angry place back then. Instagram just really wasn't a thing. And I miss that. I wish it would go back to that.
So are you still blogging?
Yeah, but again, different style of blogging. So when I first ever started, it was, well, when I first started and I knew nothing about mummy bloggers, I just started because I wanted to help other mothers. So you'd be like, I'd write, and no one would be listening at this point. I had no audience, no nothing. So I just started my blog. I was like, right, if you have painful boobs when you're breastfeeding, this is what you should do. I just tried to offload everything that I knew about motherhood into helpful blog posts.
Yeah.
Then I discovered, oh my God, there's so many other people doing blogging. It's not just angsty teenagers in America doing it, and I realized that people at that point were using their blogs as a diary.
Mm-hmm.
So they would be like, this is what I did this week, this is the day trip I went on, and not that hasn't entirely stopped, but it was more about that. It was more about the lifestyle, and you would follow a blogger to see an insight into their world, into their life, and you'd be like, oh, I can't wait until so and so publishes this post, because then I'll be able to catch up with them and see what they've done this week, and this, oh, and they've been on holiday, I can't wait till they upload all the photos and I can see their blog post. And it was very much all about that, and I loved that because it was just new and exciting, and people were interested, and I never understood why, because I'm so boring. I'm just so ordinary. But people, I mean, God, we're of the generation that sat and watched Big Brother on like the red button when they were asleep. So, you know, I guess
we know how to
I guess
sit patiently and wait for shit.
And that's how it was for ages, it felt like. And then Instagram happened. And because of Instagram, it's all Instagram's fault. This is what I'm realizing. Instagram came, and instead of having to wait all week to find out about your favorite blogger and what they had to say on everything, well, they were uploading daily on Instagram miniature blog posts. So you would see what they were doing that day, or, you know, they might take a photo, but, you know, it would be within a few days of doing the thing. You wouldn't have to wait. So it's like the death to the blog, because Instagram became mini blog posts.
Yes.
And at that point, a lot of people abandoned their blogs and invested a lot of time into Instagram. And that's where my blog suddenly, like, I just didn't do much on it. And I invested a lot of time, like, commenting and taking photos and doing, actually it wasn't video on Instagram at that point, so it was just taking beautifully shot photos.
You were doing video though, because I remember seeing some of your like power hour stuff, and
that came even after that. So that was like, that then was big. Then YouTube became the thing, you know, it was like one thing after another. So yeah, Instagram sort of was like the death to the blog, or what people thought was death to the blog. Then Instagram stories came along, and you didn't even have to wait a whole day. You could just watch constantly what these people were doing. So it really, the whole thing changed, and it was like the micro influencer sprung up. So it wasn't bloggers anymore. It was brands will pay you because you've got an audience on Instagram. And so it was chasing the numbers, like, oh, I've got to get more likes and I've got to get more followers. And it all just became really stressful and horrible. And it wasn't that, oh, I'm going to write a blog post and share what I've done this week. It was nothing pleasant about it anymore. It was all about the analytics and the I really just fell out of love with all of it at that point, but was stuck in this cycle of, but now I'm earning money and I need to keep earning the money because this is what I've chosen to do. And yeah, and then YouTube was like, oh, but there's also YouTube. So I'm doing Instagram and I'm doing YouTube, and I can do my, you know, by decluttering, because I discovered in my own, just my personal life, that I needed to declutter my home, to declutter my brain, because I had 3 kids and went insane. And so, yeah, I was trying to balance that as well.
Yeah.
And it's all just been a bit stressful. And the last couple of years, I think with lockdown, I just got tired of all of it, and I just really have shrunk away. Like YouTube, I don't think I've posted, I think I might have posted 1 video in the last 2 years. And Instagram, I'm very sporadic. But I have found a love of, well, I don't even know if I found a love of blogging anymore, but I've rediscovered that blogging is the best way to make money now than trying to, you know, you can invest so much time in YouTube or TikTok. I mean, and there's TikTok now, you just, or Instagram, but you're doing it for free. And I started a podcast as well, which again, I haven't done that in 2 years. So yeah, all these things, but you're doing them for free in the hope that it'll gain traction, so that then brands will pay you to do, it's like, but you're doing it for free in the hope that that will happen. Whereas with your blog, I have discovered the world of SEO. So that's, what's it? Search engine optimization. So basically writing blog posts that answer questions that people will Google.
Okay.
And I have so much information in my head from like 11 years of being a parent, and just various things that I have gone through as a woman in my whole life. So if there is something that somebody out there is Googling that I can answer, then they come to my blog, they read the blog post, and there's ads on there, and I get paid for them looking and reading that. So that's sort of the direction I'm moving towards, trying to help people that will be Googling things. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. It's like I've gone full circle. I started out with my blog just wanting to write helpful posts to help people that were needing an answer to a question. I got sidetracked by social media and be an influencer, and that's really stressful. And I've gone back to, do you know what? I have information that I can write down and help people as and when they Google things.
Wow.
But it's really hard to let go of Instagram and YouTube and it's like I can't quite stop it. So I just dribs and drabs carry on with that just in case.
And does that keep things ticking over?
Instagram earns me no money, nothing, zip. But I have such a community on there that I wouldn't want to just never go back to it again. I'd feel the guilt of, but they followed me because they, you know, so I wouldn't ever want to stop that. YouTube, because I haven't posted anything, that earns me nothing now, because if you don't post a video in a certain number of months or something, they stop all your advertising income.
Right. Okay.
So that would be easy to build up again, but again, it's finding the time. But yeah, blogging earns me a good wage through ad revenue. It's just working out the questions that people might Google to then write the post that will answer their question. So
it feels like it would be so much more rewarding as well, because I find when I've actually sat and written something for a little while, it's like, oh, it's out of my head. I feel like I've achieved something.
Yeah. I mean, one of my best performing blog series is, if you like, is all about the milk ladder. Both Lily and William had milk allergies as babies and toddlers, and so I put all of that, everything that I learned, everything that I went through, I wrote down. And I have so many people daily come, like, you know, they've obviously searched it on Google, you know, how to move up the milk ladder, or does my child have a milk allergy, or my child is screaming, what can I do to, you know, any of that. I have that information on my blog, and so people search for that, my blog post comes up, they come on over, and I genuinely help those people, because then sometimes if they haven't had the answers that they need, or sometimes they just need emotional support, they'll write a comment, or they'll come over to Instagram and they'll message me like, I've just read your blog post, thank you so much for writing it, I'm in the dark days of milk allergy right now, so thank you so much for sharing everything. And yeah, it is so rewarding. Whereas, you know, I could write a post on Instagram about the same thing, no one would see it because Instagram would just kill it, and I would not have helped a single soul, and then it would disappear into the ether forever. Like, no one's going to scroll back 100 Instagram posts to find that. So
it's just not searchable.
No. So answering things via your blog, using Google as the, like, this is what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming to rank on Google so that people can find this. It is much more rewarding, and you get, like, rewarding mentally, knowing you've actually helped people, but rewarding in money, because if you can get enough page views, then you can join an ad network, and then you get monetary rewards as well as the feel good, you know, you've helped people. I mean, one of my so in December, we do Elf on the Shelf in this household, something that if anyone's listening and is thinking, I might start, don't start it. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. It's hell. As shown by, I have a blog post that is last minute Elf on the Shelf ideas, because God damn it, you forget every evening. And then by the time, if you remember, you're like, quick, I need a quick idea. 11,000 people in December came and looked at this one blog post. So that's 11,000 people that I helped, because it's got so many photos, and it's not just, it's not text, it's a photo post. So it's just, this is what you need to recreate. This is what you need to recreate. Here's an idea here. And there's like 100 different ideas in it. So 11,000 people helped right there. And then also, as they were looking through the photos, there's ads
something else.
And I get money for it too. Bonus.
I did not know you were an Elf on the Shelf expert.
Oh, how many years have I been doing it? Probably 5 years. Nightmare. Don't ever start.
And you try and tell me you're boring. I'm sorry. Not now. You've gone way up in my
elf. And I don't even have one elf. We have 5. We have 5 elves. I know, my children hate me. They've made me into a lunatic.
You love it. I hope he helps declutter afterwards.
No, he makes mess, or they make mess. 5 of them.
Friends. Oh. So talk us back to when you were a kid.
Uh-huh.
So you're like 10 years old. What was the dream then? What was little Katy into?
All I ever wanted was for somebody to love me and to be a mum. That was it. There was no big, like, I want to be a doctor, or it was just, I just want to be a mum. I want to have babies with somebody that loves me. That was it. That was my dream. Tick.
Oh,
yeah. I'm a simpleton. I'm simple. I just wanted someone to love me. I wasn't a popular child. So, I wasn't one that, had boyfriends in like when I was 5, or through junior school, or even secondary school. I was not a popular child. And so I don't know if that made it, like, if I'd have had a boy, like my middle daughter, Lily, she has a boyfriend. She's 9. Yeah. She's 9. William, he's 6. He has a girlfriend, he's in love, gonna marry her. So, but I never had any of that. So I don't know if that's why that was such a big deal to me, So if I'd have had a little boyfriend or something as a little one, maybe I would have been like, oh, it's not so interesting. Maybe I'll be a doctor instead. I don't know. But because I never had anyone show me any interest, it obviously became a thing. And yeah, I just wanted somebody to love me and to have the babies.
Fall in love and have the babies.
Yeah. And I did marry my first boyfriend, so I reeled him in and I married him. That was it. My
law of attraction at work, full blown. All I want is a boyfriend. And did you go to uni?
I did. That's where we met. Yeah, we met on the first day of uni. We were in halls. He was round the corner from me, and so that was September. By the Christmas, I was in love. I remember going home that Christmas holiday and just listening to Daniel Bedingfield's "If You're Not the One." That was the song, and I just played it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And I knew I loved him. The end. And we became a couple probably the next September, I would say it was.
Oh my God, he kept you waiting.
Yeah.
You weren't together?
No. He had a girlfriend. Selfish.
Yeah. Oh, my heart's just broken a bit there.
Yeah, it broke my heart for a whole year. A whole year of pining. But I knew he was the one. I just knew that he was meant for me.
You just kept playing the song and then made it happen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so, and then we've been together ever since. So that's 20 years. 20
years, 3 kids, 5 elves on the shelves.
And a dog.
And a dog.
Yeah.
So you're living it then, the fairy tale.
Yeah, I completed my goal in life, is to, find someone that loved me, put up with my crazy ways, and had all the babies.
All the babies.
Yeah.
So what's it like at the top?
It's funny. You're never satisfied. It's like, no, but now I want a bigger house, and now I want more money, and I want to be able to go on holiday, and
and you're clearly ambitious, because I think people that go into something like blogging are a very certain type of person who
You think?
are like delusional and really like hard work.
Yeah,
For free, preferably.
Yeah. See, the problem with me is I want to achieve those things.
Yeah. So quite competitive in nature.
But I am a perfectionist, which stops me doing any of the things because I worry that I won't be good enough.
Yeah.
I'd rather not start.
Yeah.
Instead of trying and failing. So I had these grand plans. I've had so many grand plans over the years to do different things. And then I get panicky that nobody will buy the thing or nobody, just will fail. And then I shrivel into a corner and give up.
That's me 100%. That's why I
Yeah.
stopped blogging, because I was like, I don't see how I can do all these things that I want to do. It feels too hard, and I'll never be the best because you can't, obviously. So why bother?
That's it.
Have you got any tricks that you use to get yourself out of this? Because I wonder if you're in it a little bit at the moment.
No. It's finding the path of least resistance. It's working out what you actually want. So for example, one of my grand plans, it was only a couple of years ago, 3 years ago maybe, was to create and sell a decluttering course, which one day maybe I will do. I made most of it. It's pretty much ready to go, but then the fear of, but what if people won't buy it, and then I've wasted my time. It's like, well, I've made it anyway. I've still wasted.
You've already made it. Get that.
I've already made it. Want to lose it? But so it's like really go. But why do you want to do that? Well, because at the end of the day, it's a job. I need money. I want to help people. I also need money. So it's about finding the path of least resistance to be able to reach those goals. So I want to be able to help people. I want to earn money, but the stress and anxiety that creating and selling a course gave me wasn't going to be the one. It was always going to just stress me out and make me feel panicked. So that is not the way that to help people and make money. It's just not that one. Maybe one day it might be, but not now. And so, as I say, writing blog posts for people to find through Google. So building up the page views. I'm helping people. Oh, I've got enough page views to join an ad agency. Now I can earn money. And there's no anxiety around that because I like writing. I like looking for things, right? You know what? Not many people have solved this question. I'm going to write about that, and I'm going to do that. I'm not trying to impress anyone with like fancy photos or how many likes it's got or how many followers. It's like just writing down in a blog post information and sending it out for Google to rank, and then there's no anxiety around that. I just do what I'm good at and send it out into the world, rinse and repeat, and that's the thing. So the trick is to find a way to satisfy whatever it is your basic needs are in this business. And mine is I want to work from home, I want to help people, I want to earn money.
Perfect.
So path of least resistance all the way.
I hear you. Do you think, because I have this thing where I'm like, right, so I've written a book, right, a kid's book.
Yes, I saw.
And it'll never be finished because I don't know how to finish it.
As in the story, or how to
make it work. So I've written it probably 3 times, but when you're like, it's not good enough.
But didn't you have one published though?
No.
Oh, so but you've shared things before about like you've written one. I always assumed you'd actually gone all the way. Right, I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah. So that is literally in a drawer that I can see right now.
Yeah.
On like piles of paper. And it's like,
so okay, so break it down. What is actually, so have you finished the story, like beginning, middle, end? It's done,
but I know that there needs probably to be, it needs to get to the action quicker, and it needs more stuff in the middle. And
what is it like
it's a
like
chapter book.
Oh, it's a chapter book.
Yeah. But it's one of those things, so I've just put it in a drawer and gone, do you know what, that's not where I'm at right now. But it's always,
have you given it to a child to read?
Yes.
To like edit it, like not edit it, but
not to edit, but they did. A woman read it to her 2 kids and then sent me back their like little feedback on it, which was lovely, which I printed out and I keep nearby.
Yeah.
It's like those things. And I'm thinking of your decluttering thing as well, where you're like, oh, it's nearly done, but just not quite. And how can you just get the damn thing out the door?
So my advice, take it or leave it, is, do you know what? If it's finished and maybe it's not perfect, you don't need to send it to a publisher or, so that they might be like, no, this isn't good enough. Sorry. Self-publish it and then write the next one.
Yeah.
And you could always go back and, you get first editions, second editions of books, whatever. But you know what? You've written it. As long as it makes sense, yeah, you could get to the action quicker. But you know what? You've done it. Get it out there. And maybe you might only sell 1 copy, to me. But it's done. And then you can move on to the next one and take what you've learned from that one into your next one. Because the thing is, I've not written a whole book, but even writing blog posts, sometimes what it's not quite right, but you have no idea how to make it right, because it's like, do I get rid of that? But no, but that's relevant. So where do I, and then you start to rejig it and then it doesn't make sense. You're like, no, it has to go back to where it was. You can't, because you've already written it. It's like, it's already on the page and you've moved on to the next chapter, or, it's done. My advice would just be, do you know what? Just self-publish, get it out onto Amazon, and then just start the next book. It could be a follow-up book. I mean, even if I think of like Harry Potter, how many billions of pounds she has made from that series. Book 1, I really enjoyed. Book 2, terrible. Absolutely the worst book, like not in the world, but it's a dreadful book. And if she hadn't have released the 3rd book in quick succession, I probably would have been lost and not gone back to book 2, to the series again, because book 2 was dreadful, absolutely slow. There wasn't really a plot. It was just nothing. No, but luckily book 3 was really good, and then they got better, stronger and stronger, because she learn and grew with the process. The characters expanded, so you could just do that and go, do you know what, book 1 is fine, I'll never be satisfied with it, but also that's just a creative, no one's ever
perfectionism.
Yeah, exactly. Done is better than perfect, as Abby always used to say.
Yeah, but do you know what, I think this about your decluttering course. I think, who's going to know how many people bought it except you?
Well, except I was going to have a group, like a Facebook group. So then if only one person bought it and there's just one person in the group, it'd be like, oh, hi, thanks, you're the only one who bought it.
So
yeah, but no. Oh no, the horror of it all.
Oh, no. It's all very Denise Duffield Thomas, don't you think?
Yes.
So like the first one only has 1 in, but then you learn from it, and it's better if there's only 1, because there's so much you're going to learn from the first time you do something, that you want fewer people in it, so that
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Also, like, I never sort of finished it, because I was like, I need to earn money, so I need to focus on the things that are earning me money rather than focusing on this, even though probably if I just did it, I would earn a fortune.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
But no, I was like, I'll park that for now and carry on. But yeah, I would just publish the book, self-publish, so then you don't have to deal with any rejection from any publishing houses or, you know, whatever. Self-publish, done, move on to the next one, and learn to pace yourself better or plan out the story arc better, whatever it is that you feel is wrong with the one that you've done. But if it's done, put it out there.
Get it out the door.
Get it out. Show it the door. And you never know. You never know.
You never know the ridicule that I might face.
But you wouldn't. Even if someone, like, people bought it and then you got some like bad reviews, well, so what? They paid for it. So
yeah,
you've got the money.
Who's laughing now?
Yeah, give me a bad review, but I've got your $8.99.
You know what I might do? I might make this podcast me reading a chapter a night. I won't do that to everybody, I promise. Well, interesting. So in terms of online, because back in the day, obviously everybody was having a baby was like, I'm starting a blog and I'm going to make money. Is that still a thing? Like, do you still think it's possible to start from scratch and start a blog and make money?
Yes, 100%. But if you are going to, so if anyone's listening now and like, right, I want to start a blog, I want to earn money, like she does, she's got the ad revenue, absolutely. But you have to focus on a niche, a topic. Mine grew just because I've had it for 9 years, and things like my Milk Ladder series, whatever, meant that Google ranked me highly and yada yada yada, and it just sort of grew. But it's a very higgledy-piggledy. I've got recipes on there, I've got fashion posts, I've got Milk Ladder things, I've got Elf on the Shelf, I've got decluttering. It's all a bit mishmash, and my blog has probably just plateaued. It will never grow much further because it has no real direction. So if anyone is thinking, right, I want to start a blog, go, okay, but what are you interested in? What can you write about over and over and over and over and over again? So if it's you love cooking, fine, do all the recipes. Don't be writing about fashion.
Taming with twins.
Yes.
Like, very niche. It's slow cookers.
Yeah, I mean, her blog has always done well, but her Instagram, I think in 1 year has grown from, I think she was on something like
150,000.
She's on 300 odd now.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked yesterday because I made something of hers yesterday. In fact, it was delicious. But yeah, she went like last January or thereabouts. She was on about 30,000.
No way.
And she was like, do you know what? I'm going to really plow into reels, and I'm going to share really niche, just easy meals. And it's just, I mean, she's, you know, if she'd have done this 2 years ago, might not have taken off, but because of how TikTok has changed the way that people watch videos and things, she's really like hit that curve.
Yeah.
And yeah, 300 grand. She's just 300,000 followers on Instagram, probably similar on TikTok if she's got it, which again, she never shares the recipe on Instagram. She shares the little video and doesn't this look tasty? The link will take you through to my blog. So all of those people that are watching that, the ones, not everyone will click through, but those that do, well, that's page views. She gets ad revenue from her blog as well. So it's driving people over to where the money can be made. And that also, she's also just, you can pre-order her recipe book now. So obviously she's going to get sales from that. I mean, she's just done so well. But yes, a great example of choosing a niche. So, you know, maybe you are really into orchids, you know, like you know everything there is to know about orchids, right? Start an orchid blog, you know, God knows what you'd call it, like orchidcare.com, I don't know. But just, you know, how to care for an orchid. What does it mean when the orchid roots shrivel up? What is the best soil for an orchid? where should I position my orchid? Do orchids like bright light? All the questions that people type into Google, they are all blog posts. So there you go. There's a niche idea for somebody who loves orchids there. Maybe you like, I don't even know. I can't even think of a topic like.
Well, sobriety, for example, that's huge.
Perfect. All the questions, how can I curb the cravings? How can, and also there's like the mental health side of that as well. So you could be like, what to do when you are feeling low and want to turn to drink, and basically you just type into Google, so if you're looking for the questions that you're going to answer, you just use Google. You type into the search bar, you could just start off with like alcoholic tips. But then it self-populates, doesn't it? When you put something into Google, it like shows you what it
thinks you might.
So if you type in alcoholic and then the letter T, it might do tips for beginners. I know
exactly what you mean.
But it would, and so you go, okay, that's somebody. The ones that they show you are ones that people have written before, they've put in before. So anything that self-populates, people have asked that question to Google. They want that answer, and if you know the answer, and you don't have to be the world expert on that thing, you just have to know more than the person who's Googling it, which they don't know the answer, otherwise they wouldn't be Googling it. Do you know what I mean? So you just have to know more than the average person. And then once you say you put in alcoholic tips, I mean, it's literally, it sounds like it's tips for making you an alcoholic, so it's the worst phrase. But once you've done that, if you scroll right to the bottom of the search results, there's always suggested or similar search terms at the bottom. They are also questions that people have put in relating to that. So if you click on it, it will bring, and you can see what other people have written. Then once you've seen what other people have written, you can click on them and go, well, that's rubbish. I can tell them something better than that. I'm going to rewrite that in a better way. And then you outrank them. And that's all there is. That's all you have to do. You just have to think, right, what do I know? What do I want to write about? So my blog is very mishmash. I could write about anything at this stage because my blog has got so many different topics. But if anyone's starting out, you really need to zoom in on one thing and, maybe a couple of peripheral related things. But I would never recommend, start a lifestyle blog and do a bit of fashion, a bit of home interiors, a bit of, no, choose one of them.
100%.
If you want to write about gardening, fine, but is it gardening in the UK, or is it
a small garden, or you have to be even more niche than that, don't you? You have to drill down. That's really helpful.
Like running tips, but don't just do running tips. It'd be running for mums. Really niche it down so that you are targeting it's always one person. Who are you writing this for? One person. Who is that one person? So if you were going to do one around sobriety, you would write it to Sarah, who has just started. She's just decided today she wants to give up alcohol. That's who you're writing for.
Or it might even be Melanie, who's not sure yet.
Take it a step back. So she's in the depths of alcoholism, and so Melanie is just not sure. She's Googling, like, I feel like I just drink too much,
how can I cut down?
And so you're writing to her, and then you guide her through the whole process, and then future Melanies will go through the same process again and the same process, and they'll read, and they just swallow up all your blog posts. They love them because
they bloody love them, Melanie. Friends. Ooh, do you know what else is interesting about this is I find the pressure of social media is that you're creating new content every single day, whereas with a blog you don't have to show that to anybody. That's just for Google and Melanie.
Google does the thing. And the elf on the shelf thing, I wrote that 4 years ago. I didn't publicize it. I didn't share it anywhere this December, but 11,000 people found it somehow. thank you, Google.
Yes.
But
and
I didn't
instead
have
of being like, oh God, I've got to be fresh and creative for Instagram, and
that's
you're like
why,
a performing monkey.
Yeah. And I think that's why I fell out of love with it, especially through lockdown, where I was like, I literally have nothing to say. I am just existing in four walls. I have nothing to give anymore. I'm done. I'm burnt out. I have got all these children with me all the time. And I just had enough. And it's because it's that constant need for approval.
Yeah.
And and if it doesn't perform well, then I might lose followers, or people are going to be like, oh, she's only got 3 likes on that post, I'm going to unfollow her because she's obviously rubbish, or I don't know. And it's just that constant it's the peer pressure. And I saw how it was making me feel, and I don't want my children to see me constantly on social media, because I don't want them on it. No, I don't want them part of that world of going, oh, I need more likes, I need to add filters, nope. So yeah, I've taken a real step back, which again, it's really difficult. It's like a drug.
Well, it's an addiction,
because I mean, phones are an addiction for sure, but it's also like, I have those 19,000 followers, whatever, and then on YouTube I've got, I think it's 7,000 followers on there. TikTok, I've got about 6,000 or something on there. And I could just go, do you know what? I'm never going to bother with them, and any of them again, because they stress me out and take up so much of my time for little to no reward, and just focus on the blog, which probably is the most sensible thing to do, because if I invested more time, I could write more posts like the Elf on the Shelf things and the Milk Bladder, and just more page views, more money. I actually own the domain for 3, maybe 4 different blogs, but I only ever have time, and I don't really ever have time for the What Katy Said one. I also have a declutteringmotherhood.com. I also have a teachingchildren.co.uk, because teacher. And then also, because, and you can't tell because my hair's all like, it's just up. I discovered that I actually have naturally curly hair. So I've started a blog which has 1 blog post on it called ismyhaircurly.com. And again, it's for that person who isn't sure. So they're starting the journey of, how can you tell? What products do you use? How do you make, what is the curly girl method? It's all of that. But have I got time to do that? No, I haven't, because I'm wasting time creating reels and going on stories, telling like 3 people that I've had some breakfast. It's so hard. It's so hard to give those channels up, because I was always
feel irrelevant a little bit if you're not there.
Yeah. And I just,
you don't want to
I've always been late to the party. Like, I was late to Instagram stories, I was late to reels, I was late to Instagram, I was late to YouTube, and I don't want it. And I always felt like, oh, if I'd have just started sooner, maybe I would have been one of the front runners or whatever, what's it called? It's not front runner. Is it front runner?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm so behind. I don't even know that.
But anyway, so now I'm like, but if I quit Instagram, or if I quit YouTube and just don't bother with them at all, what if in a couple of years' time I regret that, and I should have persevered, because now this has happened and I would have been awesome at that, but it's too late because I didn't do anything and I've lost all my followers. So I can't. But it's like, I know deep down I should just focus on my blog, because it actually makes me money.
You've literally explained it all. Let's face it. Have you seen do you know Leonie Dawson?
No.
She's an Aussie entrepreneur lady online who's like proper hippie crazy lady, and she's the reason that I found Denise Duffield Thomas, who's another like online guru type, and she has just quit all social media, and she's got an incredible course about how to market yourself without social media, and she explains how toxic it is and how important it is to have your own channels, like have your newsletter.
Oh, for sure. Because if Instagram disappeared tomorrow,
and look at Facebook, it's off. Google Plus. Do you remember when we used to
I know.
Google fucking Plus?
Yeah. I know, it's true. And like Snapchat. I mean, I was never really on Snapchat, but people like saved their handle just in case. It's like, and there was another one, ELLO, was like, make sure you save your thing on that.
Hello. It's just relentless.
Yeah, and so if YouTube disappeared tomorrow, whatever, like
it's not going
you'd be lost. And the people, so for example, Taming Twins, I mean, she has her blog, so she wouldn't. But let's say she was only on Reels on Instagram.
Yeah.
And Instagram blew up and she'd have nobody.
Yes.
Luckily, she has her blog. She most definitely would have a mailing list. So it's making sure you have your own things and you're not solely relying on those. But she's given up social media completely. Well, I mean, well done her.
And she makes millions.
Yeah.
So
Google is the way forward.
Well, to finish off, are you a New Year's goal setting type of person?
So the irony of the whole thing is my New Year's resolution was to try and revive my YouTube and my podcast and do all of the things. But what are we now? The 13th, Friday the 13th. Today is being recorded. We're only 2 weeks in to January, and I'm already thinking, no, I don't think I want to do that. It's too much.
Listen, I need to focus on the blog. Like everything you've said there is so sensible. It's like, if you want to do this online thing and make money, do your blog.
Yeah,
I feel like all the Instagram, and I am definitely a person who's in danger of falling into the trap, is ego. It's getting the likes,
for sure,
and feeling a bit famous and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, what am I doing it for the right reason?
Yeah. Well, that's it. What is it for? Because like I've just before I've come on to chat with you, I was filming a reel because I committed to doing a 5-day, like day 1 was the living room, day 2 was the kitchen, like decluttering and tidying. So I was filming the bedroom one of the series. What's it for though? People will watch it. The last one I did, yesterday's one, the bathroom, 3,000 views. That's lovely.
Nice.
But what has that got me though? It's got me 3,000 views. Has that benefited me in any shape or form?
Probably not.
The only thing I will say is I get people joining my mailing list because they click my in the bio, you know, you can add a link, and I've got a thing so that they can download a free decluttering
you've got an ebook
checklist.
Yes,
a checklist thing. So if they download that, they go onto my mailing list, which then I own them.
Yeah, you are now
my
people.
They are. I have. So then if I was cleverer, I could use that mailing list to promote my blog post and promote any products that I was going to do. So in that essence, it's handy because people do find me through Instagram or find my mailing list through Instagram, but I don't do anything with my mailing list. So them joining it is pointless. I send out emails, but that doesn't earn me money. So the only thing that earns me money is my blog.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Well,
yeah, ego is definitely, I think you've hit the nail on the head there.
I mean, it is, but like you say, there are benefits, and it's a nice way to keep in touch with other people, like you and I would be in touch, talking about feeling boring and all that kind of stuff if we didn't have it. But it's how much, I guess it's being more disciplined about how much time you spend in it, and you know, deciding, say you've got 10 hours to work in a week, making sure that you're prioritizing the things that actually make you money, and then the other things can fit in, and not the other way around, because I'm in danger of being like, it's all in for Instagram, and then not spending time on doing the blogging and
publishing your book.
Publishing that bestseller to
You
you.
never know. You never know.
Who knows? Well, that's been absolutely fascinating. Thank you, Katy. You know, when you start
I told
something,
you
I
I'd
don't know where
ramble,
this is going to go, but that's been really, really helpful on a personal level. Like, you've given me lots of food for thought, so very much appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, you have a lovely 2023, and please can we meet up soon?
Yes, except you live about 300 miles away.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even know where you said you lived. I was like, yeah. Oh, well, thanks so much.
All right. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great week. And I'll see you next time for another episode of Happily Ever After with me, Hannah Harvey. I would be very grateful if you wouldn't mind leaving a review or subscribing, because this helps more people find this podcast. And of course, if you've got a friend who you think might enjoy this episode, please do recommend it to them as well. For anything else, your thoughts on the episode or any questions, please do get in touch with me through Instagram at mumsdays, or you can email me hannah@mumsdays.com. And I genuinely love hearing from you, so please do get in touch.